Today's episode of Wiki Sift is brought to you by Old Soul Sour Cream, made of 100% locally sourced grass-fed organic human souls. Get 20% off your order today by whispering the true names of the old ones into the ears of a crow.
Oh, I want to join you on the Star Trek journey. I really do, because I've read a few of them, but I also know I've read the good ones and a couple of the, this is questionable, because technically speaking, someone shipped Ashley Judd with a red-skinned alien. I'm not making that up.
Is that racist?
Well, no, he legitimately had like crimson red skin, and that was his most distinctive feature.
Okay, so
whether that's racist is a debatable thing depending on the narrative of that story and the fact that they, oh crap, it was racist.
Ashley
Peter
Judd,
David.
as in the one-time role that she had opposite Wesley in TNG?
Yes.
Okay.
If there's an entire Star Trek ship plot line that I know about called New Frontier, which involves every B-list one-shot character appearance within Star Trek getting shunted onto one Enterprise, including the blonde lady. Including the blonde lady from the episode where Picard was turned into a Borg, being the oh my god, second in command, and also being seen as a sex symbol. Like, it was a really horny book series.
Anything involving Riker is going to be thirsty.
He wasn't there. He's not in the books.
He's not in the books?
No.
Wait, what?
Oh.
Well, not in those books, but sorry, I'm getting on a tangent. So are we starting? Because I've already recorded just for posterity.
Okay,
I
good.
would also like to point out
I'm trying to get the words out. Is everyone recording for the last 10 minutes?
I am.
Stevo.
Yes, I am. I've been recording since before you hopped on, Ton.
Okay.
You could just sit back. Me and Steve are just going to shoot the shit for the next 2 hours.
I was going to say...
Do you guys want to edit this for me? Because...
No, I've retired from editing. That's why my own show is dying. But I was going to say, Big Mike is the one starting the mascot episode by talking about Star Trek, and you're going to start yelling at me?
Yes.
I'm too lovable.
Welcome to Big Mike's Keyboard ASMR 2 hours.
It is a satisfying sound that calms down many people. They say along the moors of the Tibetan mountains, you can hear my keyboard clacking, and the monks are hunting me down.
The Moors?
The Moors of Tibet. Have you not? I assume they have Moors.
Are we talking about the geographial feature or the race?
The geographical feature, Jesus Christ! I beg your pardon, sir. This is my first appearance on your show.
Welcome, Ashley Judd.
Yeah, we have not gotten to the racist stuff yet.
If I'm to make a commentary on racism, sir, it shall be entirely defamatory.
So wait, if he's Ashley Judd, does that make me the red-skinned alien?
I think we're good to go.
Double up.
I had a whole bunch of burps just come out all at once, so let's get out of that.
Welcome to Wiki Sift.
I'm waiting for him to start, because then when he starts, I can be turned loose and be a feral animal. But I'm respecting Tom's process.
I've been on this since episode 1. He will restart the show repeatedly until he gets what he wants.
No, you don't understand. I am a feral rabid dog. When the show starts, I respect the process enough to let the host go through the intro.
You know what I've experienced. You know what? Here, you two can go at it. I have my kaiju.
Steve, sweetie, come back. Sweetie, come back. No, I'm sorry.
I'm still here. Sorry. Nice cannonball.
Welcome to
sorry,
Wiki Sift, a show
I'm sorry, Stevo. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings and did not listen to your experience. Will you join the conversation again, sweetie?
Welcome to Wiki Sift.
All right. Welcome to Wiki Sift, a shallow dive into pop culture and fandom. Today, we're going to be talking about mascot lore. I'm Tom, he is an evil genius white, and today I am joined by...
Mike can go first.
Yay! Hi everyone, I'm Big Mike. I am frequently living under a bridge in the beautiful city of Mississauga and occasionally hunting wolves by night. When I'm not doing that, I run a tabletop show called D20 Live. I was brought here because I'm a psychopath and kept asking Tom until he said yes and relented. We will see whether or not there is a return on investment in that experience.
I am Stevo, host of Friday Night Fanfiction. I'm currently sitting by the pool with my book on kaiju wrestlers, while my kids Tom and Mike continue to battle it out on the diving board, and I'm taking bets on which one of them is going to need stitches first.
You named a kid after me, thank you.
Interestingly enough, Mike's story about how he got on Wikisift is exactly the same story as how I got on D20 Live. So.
It really is. I knew it worked for you, so...
Yeah.
And I feel like my interactions with you guys aren't tainted by that because I knew both of you outside of those kinds of endeavors. In fact, I've never seen D20 Live.
You should. It actually is occasionally quite funny. And there are distinct episodes that I could show you that I am not ashamed of. And that's a lot saying for someone with my level of anxiety and depression.
I've noticed as a creative person, almost everything somebody does, like there will be stuff that they have personal favorites on. So yes, please do send me that information. I will at the very least pretend to enjoy it.
Okay. I'm trying to think I'm trying to think which one to pick, but that's tangential to what we're doing today.
Yeah.
So, Wikisift is a willfully ignorant fandom podcast where we don't actually directly consume media and just read what fans wrote about it online. Because I could play all 34 games in the Ganbare Goemon series.
And you fucking should, because that series is amazing.
I don't know, it kind of fell apart around the third installment when they moved away from the Famicom. I said that with just enough conviction that you believe it, and that's enough.
No, I don't believe it. The three SNES games are amazing.
Can I do my punchline?
Sorry.
I could play all 34 games in the Ganbare Goemon series, but I'd rather just skim the fan wiki until I read about how one of the games is about Goemon saving Japan from being westernized by an army of bunny men.
Yeah, you're doing yourself a disservice by not actually playing that game and getting the entire story the way it was meant to be.
But
Tom, when this is done, remind me. Sorry.
Yes.
Remind me when this is done to introduce you to Chainsaw Man. I think you'll have a good time. Please continue.
I know about Plasma Man.
No.
I know about Triangle Man.
But today specifically, we're going to talk about mascot lore. Because I've learned that characters who are invented only to sell things can actually have elaborate origin stories. In the interest of time, we are not going to be delving into McDonald's lore. That could be its own episode in and of itself. So stay tuned for whenever we tackle that one.
I was also very upset when he first announced this episode because I immediately talked about the Montgomery Biscuits and he's like, no sports mascots. That's a separate episode.
I didn't say no sports mascots. I just said we're not doing the sports teams because that's the thing we're doing in a later episode.
Okay, all right.
There's a mythology around sports teams?
We'll get into that.
Okay.
But first of all, part of the reason I really wanted Mike for this one is because he's the one who introduced me to the fact that Lucky Charms has canon.
You know, you spend one afternoon as a 5-year-old pretending that the Lucky Charms are Mandarin's rings, and then you cite your evidence.
So,
was that your childhood?
I had one time in my life where I had Lucky Charms, exactly, and was allowed to eat it.
Was it Christmas?
Was that your
Christmas
the worst
miracle?
part.
Oh boy, I can have Lucky Charms?
No, my Christmas miracle was a sandwich maker and a blender.
Oh.
Should I introduce Lucky Charms, or do people generally know what it is? Like, I don't know what the young people know these days, but
I think Lucky Charms is kind of timeless. Anybody born after 1965 should know what fucking Lucky Charms is.
Which is coincidentally working for the Wiki, because it was introduced in 1964 of March 20th, but still.
I guess while the whole idea of, parents knowing that their kids are having healthy foods has definitely changed, sugary cereals that are beyond temptation really haven't for many, many years. You still got Lucky Charms and Count Chocula. Isn't there one other that has marshmallows in it?
There was the Spider-Man cereal for a while.
Well, there's Boo Berry and
right. Well, yeah, all the
Frankenberry
cartoon monsters.
Yeah.
But there was another. It'll come back to me.
So, Stevo, are you aware that the marshmallows inside Lucky Charms represent Lucky's magical charms, each with their own special power? These marshmallows give Lucky powers.
I mean, I guess based on the whole, hearts, stars, horseshoes, clovers, and blue moons, pots of golden rainbow, and the red balloons, the way it's written out lyrically makes sense because it kind of has that Care Bears style or Captain Planet style, everybody's got a power feel. But no, I did not know that for a fact.
This is official. The Hourglass Charm, some of these have been phased out, but the Hourglass Charm has the power to stop time or
to lower
speed
Lucky's
up time
power.
Or reverse time. So Lucky can travel through time with just the Hourglass marshmallow.
So you mentioned that things are phased out. Are these like limited edition powers like Kamen Rider belts?
Well, like for some reason they keep changing
Next
the marshmallows.
Season, Lucky Charms has a completely different set of fucking marshmallows.
Here's the thing: knowing the American collector's market the way it is, someone somewhere has every single fucking Lucky Charm preserved in an individual case of its own kind, and he's like, "I've got them all."
Marshmallow Henshin.
They sent it to that video game grading place, and they had cases of
what?
plastic.
You mean the place that's currently being sued?
The place that's currently being sued. Yep. Oh, you didn't hear that, huh? So
I heard everyone was mad at WADA. I didn't hear they were getting actually officially sued.
Oh, they are getting sued. But
good.
Yeah, it seemed like Lucky Charms keeps introducing new marshmallows, and then when they introduce new ones, they phase out old ones. And there was a time, I think there was a time where it's like they have to have 7 different marshmallows because 7 is Lucky's lucky number. But then they had an 8th. Yeah, but then they had 8, and then they just kind of stuck at 8 for a while. Every time they introduce one, they phase another one out. I don't really get why that is.
I have a question about Lucky Charms lore, if I may ask it boldly.
Yes.
Who decides now? Canonically, obviously, it's decided by a bunch of fat dudes in a company pressuring people who are underpaid at mixing marshmallows to decide what these flavors will be. But in the canon, who determines what charms Lucky has at that time? Is it him?
That's a good question.
And is he the source? Like in a weird, like all-father?
Lucky strikes me as somebody who would be into either transcendental meditation or Satanism.
Satanism.
Okay, I don't really.
Are we making a commentary about the Irish? Stevo?
No, just Lucky the Leprechaun.
Who would be Irish?
No, okay, so in lore, he probably consults with dark powers to know what the true symbols of his evil deeds are.
Why are we assuming malevolence?
Materials.
Why are we assuming chaotic evil malevolence?
Have you seen some of the shit he's done to those kids in the commercials?
Yes, it's clearly chaotic neutral, dude.
Anyway,
I'm a game master. I can cite this.
So the Hourglass Charm has the power to stop time, speed up time, or reverse time. The Star Charm gives him the power of flight. The Red Balloon gives him the power to float. The Horseshoe Charm gives him a power of speed. The Clover Charm gives him the power of luck. The Blue Moon Charm gives him power of invisibility. The Rainbow Charm...
He's fucking evil. He turns invisible. gets extra life. This is somebody who's perpetrated many crimes that we don't know about.
Well, okay, in the context of the narrative of the commercials, though, however, he seems quite content to allow the children to consume handfuls of the shit.
Paul Verhoeven,
So what-
give me a remake of Hollow Man starring Lucky the Leprechaun.
Paul Verhoeven should not be allowed. Now,
No, I disagree on that, but
which part?
that he lets them take their cereal. They snatch it from him somehow. But
I'm sorry, I haven't watched
a
a commercial
second.
in over 6 years, so I couldn't tell you accurately.
The rainbow charm gives him the power to teleport.
Yeah.
The unicorn charm brings color to the world. And the heart charm gives life to objects. He can bring things to life with these marshmallows.
Can I comment on the redundancy that he has both the power to flight? Well, the star charm gives him power of flight. The red balloon charm gives him the power of float. Isn't that just shittier flight?
Yeah, that I'm not sure about. Is it like floating in the air or is it floating in the water? This is just
I don't know what y'all are fucking hung up on. I'm hung up on unicorn horn, which sounds like fucking what is it? Spanish fly for fairy tale mythos.
Well, it's obvious that it's there to to change the color of different objects or break down racial barriers if we keep bringing it up tonight. But
You did it. I didn't this time.
Like, as far as I'm concerned, Lucky's charms are like infinity stones. I think Lucky's more powerful than Thanos, and yet he's consistently defeated by small, ordinary children.
That's the dodge.
I can turn
He's handing him out power.
And I can teleport. Also, watch me levitate 1.5 inches off the ground. Look at that, kids. Impressed? I know I am.
I'm choosing to believe the power of float allows him to float above water surface, which is weird because it's the only we don't have an aquatic power in this mix at all.
So he's a hoverboard?
Which is a weird... Yeah, he doesn't hover. He just floats on the water.
That's right, kids. I'm a hoverboard. Anyway, snort this fucking ground up unicorn horn. It'll do you good.
Are we establishing canonically that these items are made from their original source objects? So he has ground up stars to make flight?
Lucky ground up a VHS copy of The Last Unicorn.
Yes, the blue moon charm is clearly made from the actual blue moon.
I don't know. There's a lot of craters in the moon. I don't know how many marshmallows that makes.
I guess the term
again,
blue
he
moon.
probably just ground up a bottle of Blue Moon, the beer, shards of glass and all.
All right, go Lucky. You really make that shards of glass delicious, man.
Is that it? Or are we just slamming Lucky?
I think it's a dodge. I think he
Stevo
is
seems
giving him
less impressed at Lucky's amazing powers than I thought. Okay, so let's move on a little bit.
Sure.
I actually did some looking around and I found a mascot wiki on the interwebs. It describes itself as a wiki about mascots of any kind, but the main page has no categories. There is a drop-down menu under wiki content, and it has 3 categories. Recently changed categories, male, and males.
Okay, I need to tell you that I jumped ahead 10 spaces because I found out Wikipedia had a tan, and I need to see what she looks like, and I'm already Google searching her image.
Oh, your porn folder must be very interesting.
I did not put that in the wiki or in my notes, so if you found that out, you found that out on your own.
You hired me for a reason.
Tom, I'm dismissive of Lucky because considering the amazing powers he has, he thinks so small. He doesn't do anything big with the power.
That's what's so amazing to me.
Stevo, you by the narrative that you have implied, Lucky has this whole other fucking side game outside of the commercials. Maybe this is just what he does on Earth.
Transdimensional being Lucky the Leprechaun.
Each planet he has a different game. On Earth he is chased by children. On another planet he is a despoiler. Maybe on another planet he's Paul Atreides. Who knows? Well, the equivalent.
Oh god, he sounds like a character from fucking Star Trek Extended Lore. Jeez.
So maybe it's Mr. Mitchell Spitlick from DC Comics, who that actually is his game.
That's
but,
actually fits
would make a lot
remarkably
of sense.
well. Yeah.
It's this kind of moon logic that kept D20 Live going for 10 years.
So, I was looking around on this mascot wiki, and there's a lot of nonsense on this. I found they have a page for the Dairy Queen lips character.
Fuck,
what always opens every Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I'm in. I'm already reading it.
All there is a little bit of background, a really brief snippet about personality, and a huge number of quotes.
My God. There's just laughter. One of them is just laughter.
Yes. Okay, so under personality, it says, despite the lips in question appearing to be womanly in appearance, DQ lips speak in a male American voice, often acting very patronizing to the viewer with a smug smile.
Okay, I found my favorite quote. I'm sorry, I read it.
Okay, hold on. I've compiled some of my favorites, so
okay,
let me get to these. Yeah, so personality is, well, whatever. The quotes are mostly uninteresting promotional remarks, but they get weird, and they're all completely devoid of context. It doesn't tell you why he says this, but it's got quotes like, together, meals the way I want them, a different meal any day at a great price. Like, I don't know why he's saying that. That could apply to any number of products. Introducing the Dairy Queen Waffle Bowl Sundae, DQ soft serve, all those delicious toppings, everyone in a chocolate dipped. It actually says everyone. I think that's supposed to be everything.
As in every one of people.
Well, if we're going down ingredients of stuff.
I never say no to the orgy when the lips invite me.
I'm currently shipping the lips in my head with max headroom, and I have seen no downsides to this experience as a human being.
So I don't know why these are interesting enough to be mentioned in a wiki. One of them is just, sure, I'll take 2 boxes. No context.
Hey, the lowly wiki editor that had to do this edit charted each and every one. Yeah.
They just transcribed every line from every commercial and didn't explain anything. This one just says, wait, what? Ooh, you're good. Like, what?
Okay.
What does this mean?
I love the last 3. They're telling me a story.
One of them says, it makes me feel like I can control anything, even you.
It makes me feel like I have all of Lucky's charms.
One of the quotes is just, the choice is mine. I'm the master of my own domain, all powerful, and then just a string of evil laughter.
Can I
feel
say
like we're in
now?
a weird out of context state.
I wonder if these are actually from the commercials, or if the person writing the wiki just had a sudden realization of power as he was typing these in.
He knew we were going to come here.
So what are some of your favorite quotes?
So my favorite bar none is, waffles and soft serve a hooking up? I've hooked up once. She was an ear, snarls seductively. And that's just the end of the fucking quote.
Hang on. I love that this is out of context. I wouldn't give for just one nostril.
Wow.
I can get a hot dog and a small sundae together. That is a very bizarre thing to imagine. Do not put ice cream on my hot dog.
Wait, what?
Wait.
Oh, you're good.
And then there's just one that just says, the new, and then it ends.
Look into my uvula.
No,
Wow.
Mike, we're friends. I'm not that close to you.
That's a quote. Shut up. You knew what I was doing.
Especially since you're in Mississauga.
Oh, can I talk about the last 3 at the bottom, though, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
So there's 3, and they tell a story. Now, when you buy any food from Dairy Queen, get the Galaxy's Greatest Shake for 99 cents. I feel like I'm doing a promo, fine, whatever. And approve it's the Galaxy's Greatest Shake. Here's Phil from the Crab Nebula. So, Phil, is it? That's Phil, yes, and that's where it ends.
Phil.
It just ends,
I feel like I know so
know
much about Phil.
I need to know the other half of this commercial. Like, I kind of want to go find it and get Phil's side. This is a weird Doctor Who.
So would you say that this is effective advertising then? Maybe the wiki is edited by an employee of Dairy Queen.
That's a sad job.
They intentionally gave a bare minimum of detail so that a couple of nerds will look at it someday and go record a podcast about how weird it is, and then provide free advertising for Dairy Queen for 10 people?
I don't think you can get a shake for 99 cents anymore.
Also, I'd like to point out, we started this with Lucky, somebody with supernatural powers of an infinite domain, and now we're reading about disembodied lips saying things like, it makes me feel like I can control anything, even you. There's some god complex going on with these mascots.
Now, hang on. Are they disembodied lips, or is it just like Popo from Dragon Ball?
It's just lips that float.
We sure, though? How do you know? We never zoomed out far enough on this
list.
Not
everything is racist, Mike.
I wasn't saying it was racist. I was saying it was Popo. God damn it. Lighten up, dude. Fuck. That one's yours, Stevo.
Let's talk about the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh, dear.
Sure. Why start now?
Now, apparently there was a big, online discussion about whether Kool-Aid Man is the jug itself or the Kool-Aid inside the jug. Or is it both? There's a popular opinion that he was both, in the same way that human beings are not just flesh or the blood. If you remove either from the equation, you cease to be what you are. And
okay, so I'm going to put my hand down and say that he is the jug only, because it would be wholeheartedly inappropriate for him to serve his insides to children.
Question, may I interject at this time?
Okay.
I choose to believe that he is both, and that his color-changing ability is like a mood ring.
All right, so this is the division between the Protestants and the Mormons.
Yeah. You see, it is like the Lamb of Christ. In that he giveth his blood unto the people. It's a metaphor, but also literal, because it's the Kool-Aid Man.
So I actually found an article where someone did some investigative journalism on this.
Doubt.
Brian Van Hooker from Mel Magazine. He did some digging, and he found a commercial from 2013 where Kool-Aid Man takes a shower and his pitcher is just filled with water. Then he goes to a closet of Kool-Aid powder to decide what flavor he's going to be today. So that seems to suggest that he is just the jug.
How very Wonka of him.
During all of this, the Kool-Aid Man narrates saying, I put my pants on one leg at a time, except my pants are 22 different flavors. I've got grape pants, I've got watermelon pants, and I wear them in my head.
I wear them in my head.
Yeah, so I guess canonically, the Kool-Aid is his pants. So, now, I don't know if you two are aware of this, but there's a Super Bowl ad in 2020 where the Kool-Aid Man, alongside Mr. Clean, appeared in a commercial for fellow Kraft Heinz product Planters. He was shown as an attendee of the funeral of Mr. Peanut. And
oh yeah, that was a thing.
His tears ended up causing a new baby Mr. Peanut to grow from the ground.
He giveth and he taketh away, like unto the Lamb of God. I knew without knowing.
So it would seem that Kool-Aid Man is the pitcher himself, but when Kool-Aid is poured into him, it takes on magical properties that brings people to life. It's kind of like a fountain of youth. It's just regular water unless it's in the fountain, and then it's magical. So I have a kind of headcanon that I've formed here that because Kool-Aid Man can bring people to life with his Kool-Aid, whenever someone yells out, "Hey, Kool-Aid," he thinks it's an emergency. Someone is dying and needs life-saving Kool-Aid. So that's why he bursts right through people's walls. He thinks this is a life or death situation. And once he gets there, he just gives the Kool-Aid to everyone because, all these kids are like, hey, give me Kool-Aid. He's like, okay, sure, I'm here. I'll just give the Kool-Aid to everyone. Whoever's in dire need will get it if I just give it to everyone. And then he just leaves and has no idea that all this time the kids were just thirsty.
Okay, can I go down a quick rabbit hole? So,
yes,
the human body is what, 70-80% water?
Well, sure, yeah, something like that.
So the Kool-Aid Man doesn't notice, but one of the kids sneaks into his jug. Kool-Aid Man goes to bed, wakes up, the child is completely sucked dry, and Kool-Aid Man is now a cannibal.
What are you talking
What
about?
moon logic are you using, Stevo? See, here's the thing. I'm doing something far more disturbing. I've looked up the name of the man who created the Kool-Aid Man. I'm trying to find out if he's still with us.
Probably not. That seems like the one contribution immediately gets elevated to like ethereal status.
If he's not still with us, maybe some Kool-Aid will do the trick.
Yeah.
I'm Hawaiian Punch forever.
But here's the thing. If he is still alive, we can email him and ask this question and get a hearty, please fuck off, I'm 90 years old, from the gentleman.
And if he isn't alive, we'll get an email that says, please fuck off, I'm dead.
A more noble cause I've never heard. Okay, so here's a fun thing. Kool-Aid Man is in the Marvel/DC Wiki because he was in the Adventures of Kool-Aid Man comics, which was made by Marvel and Archie.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the same duo that did California Raisins?
It could be.
So wait, hold up. Does that mean that all the Hostess fucking pies shit is canon within Marvel and DC? Because if that is the fucking case, Sean Baby is the curator now of a whole lot of fucking weapons that could be take down everybody. I want to see Thanos get taken down.
It looks like the only
with the
California Raisins comic is from Blackthorn Publishing, so no.
Ow.
Also, why are there so many comics about the California Raisins in 3D? Oh, that's disturbing!
Anyway, so the wiki has a breakdown of Kool-Aid Man's powers and abilities. Yes, superhuman physical characteristics, water manipulation.
That makes sense.
He throws jars of Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
He has enhanced hearing because he can hear people asking for Kool-Aid from miles away.
Now, is it specifically Kool-Aid? Is it specifically Kool-Aid, or is it just, oh, shite?
It just says enhanced hearing. He has some hand-to-hand combat skills because he fought against the Thirsties in close combat multiple times.
The Thirsties?
Vehicular mastery. He knows how to fly a helicopter, ride a horse, and use a jetpack. He's able to travel in the outer space, as it says here, with a shuttle or jetpack, and can time travel with a time machine.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Those were all mascots. That's the equivalent of flight and super strength for superheroes. They just had it. I don't know a single mascot on the planet that at some point didn't go back in time to the Middle Ages and say to a knight, hey man, you're lame. The kids have it with this sugary product. That's just what it was.
I like this part. Attack potency wall level plus. He casually smashes through sections of walls made of different materials, including the metal hull of a spaceship.
We got robbed that Smash didn't ever cross over with mascots.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm pretty sure there's a Mugen version of the Kool-Aid Man. In fact, give me a hot second. I'll see if I can find it.
I am convinced there is.
Just go to Salty Bet. Odds are it's on there.
First search, 5 seconds. Download the Kool-Aid Man from Mugen.
All right, now we're getting somewhere.
Wasn't even hard. The sprite looks like shit, though.
Yeah.
It's Mugen.
That's Mugen.
Mugen.
So, the Earth is round, Gravity makes things go down. This Mugen character looks like shit.
So this was an utterly bizarre rabbit hole to go down, but let's talk about Captain Crunch.
Oh man, I was hankering for Captain Crunch the other day. You made me hungry again.
He moves us fast so that we don't have enough time to think about what we're doing. You know that, right?
Well, try to eat some Captain Crunch, and then that will rid you of the desire to eat it for a long time.
Yeah.
All right, I'm leaving the episode to go buy Captain Crunch. Goodbye.
All right, Tom, it's just me now. You strap in, motherfucker.
All right, stay with me with this.
We haven't stayed with you now.
According to the Wall Street Journal,
oh boy,
the character Horatio Magellan Crunch captains a ship called the Guppy and was born on Crunch Island, a magical island off the coast of Ohio and in the Sea of Milk, with talking trees, crazy creatures, and a mountain, Mount Crunchmore, made out of Captain Crunch cereal.
Off the coast of Ohio in the deep sea of Indiana.
No, fuck off. I need a proof of citation from according to the Wall Street Journal. I need that. I'm going to the Wikipedia page for that. That's not on you, Tom. I need to see the link.
Also, if he's from Ohio, there is a 50-50 chance that he is racist.
No.
Damn you, subscriber! Whoa, I cannot see this Captain Crunch article.
So he comes from a magical island, but it's not like some uncharted island in the middle of the ocean. If it's off the coast of Ohio, his island is in Lake Erie.
That's not the sea.
Yeah, there should be islands.
That's a lake.
So,
I'm getting irrationally upset about that.
There's a lot to get irrationally upset about with this.
Also, if it is Lake Erie, it's an island made entirely of garbage.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's made of baby diapers.
And old milk containers.
Hold up then. If they called it Crunch Island, what is it actually physically made of to have been merited being called Crunch Island?
Oh.
Because they don't describe the properties of Crunch Island. I got you thinking, and now you're haunted.
Yeah.
But let's talk about haunted. He is.
So, in 2013, sources, including the Wall Street Journal and Washington Times, noted that the 3 stripes on the mascot's uniform indicated a rank of commander rather than the 4 that denote the rank of captain. In jest, the Wall Street Journal reported that the U.S. Navy had no record of Crunch, and that the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, NCIS, was investigating him for impersonating a naval officer.
I would watch the hell out of that NCIS episode, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so the Wikipedia article for Captain Crunch says, according to Crunch Facts, a website dedicated to the mascot, Horatio Crunch has a perfect 200 IQ.
You know what? Crunch strikes me as somebody who would hack the website in order to give himself a perfect IQ.
Isn't a perfect IQ 300?
I don't think... Is there a perfect score for an IQ? Because I thought
no, because it's an
IQ
inherently flawed evaluative statistic.
It is. But in theory, a perfect score on an IQ test is 300, meaning that Crunch hacked this site and got the number for a perfect IQ wrong.
Yo, like, perfect score on an IQ, just don't play the game. That's the only way to win.
Yeah.
So here's where the rabbit hole comes in, because Wikipedia said, this is according to Crunch Facts, a website dedicated to the mascot. So I looked up this Crunch Facts site, and this is an unbelievable website. It says, Horatio Magellan Crunch was born on March 11th, 1943, born Crunch Island in the Sea of Milk. His island was the target of one of the many secret bombings led by the United States during World War II. During one of the bombings, Crunch's parents were killed and Crunch was orphaned. The young orphan was then adopted by a passing sailor from the U.S. Navy who was scouting the damage on Crunch Island. The sailor's likeness would be later sculpted into Mount Crunchmore. That sailor was none other than John F. Kennedy.
Okay, so Captain Crunch merits the Linked Horizon Attack on Titan opening theme more than Attack on Titan does.
So somewhere in Lake Erie is a magical island with a mountain that has John Kennedy's face carved into it. Kennedy taught Crunch everything he knew, from sailing to chess, Crunch's favorite game of wits. Kennedy also instilled his firm belief of knowing all the presidential names by heart. Crunch's favorite is, of course, James Buchanan.
Not even Kennedy?
I know.
James Buchanan is literally the worst president in history outside Trump and Nixon. Who likes a president that brings on a civil war? I'm so mad!
Kennedy also encouraged Crunch to learn the names of all the founding fathers. It was at this time that Crunch would learn the name of his greatest adversary, Benjamin Franklin.
Hold the fuck up. Benjamin Franklin died. How is this rivalry still going? I need to know if Benjamin Franklin is time traveling or a zombie, and it has to be one or the other.
Ben Franklin stole the retired time loop marshmallow.
So
Bastard.
I went like deep diving through this website trying to figure out what its deal is, and I'm pretty sure it's just trying to be funny. But they have an actual self-produced animated Captain Crunch show, and the animation is actually pretty good. So even if it is just a joke, they ran with it hard.
Here's the problem.
I don't know. This person put so much dedication into expanding the lore of Captain Crunch. It's very strange.
The worst part is that MatPat has a video about Captain Crunch now that I found by going through this website. And that has killed all of the fun for me. Because
go back, unsee it.
I can't. My brain only moves forward in linear time. I don't have the right marshmallow.
You know what? That's my next time I take a sick day. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I lost my marshmallow, so I'm not gonna be able to work today.
I cannot believe that one of MatPat's fucking channels is fucking food theory. God damn it. Bastard. Anyway,
So-
continue.
That's it for Captain Crunch.
Thank goodness. And okay, the fact that he does say his favorite president is Buchanan does make me think that the facts are taking the piss.
Yeah. I mean, well, his greatest nemesis is Benjamin Franklin.
It's such a small amount of piss. If it was us writing this lore on this website, we'd have come up with some gonzo ass shit, right? Like at one time he has
pretty gonzo.
Hang on. We haven't started talking.
Honk, honk.
His parents were killed in World War II, and his life was saved by John Kennedy.
Boring.
And he became
Boring.
enemies with Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, but like I would have lightning battles on top of the Empire State Building
It's just
between
a
these two.
fucking episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
But it could be dumber.
No, it's borderline right now.
Oh, but we could push it over and it would be glorious in a flame.
I will not be an accomplice to this heinous act.
You're already an accomplice. We're on the same podcast.
So I tried to dig up as much as I could about the Phillie Phanatic. And surprisingly, with all the info about Captain Crunch, Lucky Charms, and Kool-Aid and whatnot, there's almost nothing online about the Phanatic's lore, despite him being possibly the most iconic sports mascot ever.
Who?
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 Yeah, who?
What?
Who is that?
No, seriously, I don't know who the Phillie Phanatic
Neither do
is.
I.
They're
We're not taking the piss.
supposedly the most famous mascot in all of history. I have never
Really?
heard of the Phillie Phanatic.
I know more about that weird dude who's the weird mascot who's doing weird shit on TikTok, who's orange and looks like a fucking nightmare thing.
He
I can't
knows
remember
more
the name
about
of it.
Matt Pat.
Yeah, I do.
So the Phillie Phanatic is the official mascot for the Philadelphia Phillies
Oh, the
Major
booger
League
guy,
Baseball team.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who the fuck?
He's a
What is
large,
this?
furry, green, bipedal,
Oh.
flightless bird with an extendable tongue.
Wait, is that his tongue coming out of that tube?
Yes.
Oh, what haunting new mimicry of hell is this?
I feel like I'm getting mooned somehow.
He kind of made a splash like immediately because he somehow perfectly mirrored the weirdness of people who live in Philadelphia, and they just kind of rallied behind him. Like, yeah, he's weird, but he's one of us. The
Go on.
Phanatic's antics are not always popular with opposition players and coaches. During a September 1982 game, Cardinals outfielder and former Phillies player Lonnie Smith did not take kindly to the Phanatic's taunts and tackled the mascot mid-game out of frustration.
Wow.
Dodgers manager Tommy Lasorda in particular did not like the Phanatic's mocking of the Dodgers. In 1988, he assaulted the Phillie Phanatic during a nationally televised game after the Phanatic stomped on a life-size dummy wearing Lasorda's uniform.
Wow, this guy's pro.
Really?
I kind of dig him.
Lasorda, you're gonna get that upset about a non-on-fire effigy?
The Phanatic also has the dubious distinction of being the most sued mascot in sports.
Oh, fuck me. That is that is not dubious. That is a rare distinction. God bless him. I went from not knowing who this guy is to needing to know everything about him in a very short span of time. I am now consumed.
Yeah, he is now a Phanatic stan.
I actually heard a story about how an umpire ejected a Phanatic from the game over the most harmless thing. I guess the umpire felt he was being too distracting to the players or something, and
Oh, man.
Oh, like not what a mascot's job is.
I wonder what the actual mascot is saying. Like, underneath the mask. It's like, also, I fucked your wife.
So Phanatic left, and he came back wearing pajamas and had like a blanket and a pillow, and just curled up on top of the opposing team's dugout.
Yeah.
He didn't make any sound or anything. He just curled up there to have a snooze, and the umpire saw this and wasn't having it and ejected him from the game.
I love him. He's great. What a mad bastard.
So the Philadelphia Phillies website had a page dedicated to him, but it's gone and can only be read on the Wayback Machine. Here's some things it has to say about him. Favorite food, cheesesteaks, soft pretzels, hoagies, scrapple, and tasty cakes.
Yeah, that all makes sense.
Favorite movie, Rocky.
Yeah.
Favorite song, Motown Philly, and Take Me Out to the Ball Game, of course.
Yeah.
Hobbies, eating, reading, sleeping, and cheering on the Phillies.
Yeah.
His mom's name is Phoebe, and his best friend's name is Phyllis. Birthplace, Galapagos Islands. Now...
So are we saying he's one of the rare mutation of the Darwin's woodfinch?
I don't know. I think it's kind of amazing that this guy was created to be everything Philadelphia, and he's not actually from Philadelphia. He's from the Galapagos.
No, he's a Galapagos tortoise mutated in Philadelphia.
Yeah. That's what the environment and constant cheesesteaks will do to a turtle. Look at that poor bastard. God, man, maybe I missed my calling and I should have been a mascot. What the fuck?
There's a page on the sports mascot wiki about both Phoebe and Phanatic's younger brother Fred with a PH, but there's no information on either of them whatsoever.
Well, yeah,
So-
they're hidden. They're hidden to keep their identity safe.
And very fast, before you move on to Chuck E. Cheese, I'm sending you an image of my personal favorite mascot, Wiki, who is the mascot for the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League team, the Rimouski L'Océanic. And my first exposure to Wiki was going to a hockey game on New Year's Eve and seeing him play the invisible violin during the Canadian national anthem. Talk about disrespectful. Also, the very seductive pose that I sent him in. He is a riot.
Maybe I missed my calling and I should have been a mascot. What the fuck? I didn't know that was the career to go into if you were a massive fucking troll.
Oh, after he finished playing the invisible violin, he was pretending to listen to the singer sing, and like he motions his hand in the like, it's iffy kind of motion.
So what's this mascot's deal?
There's not really a deal. He's just very rude, and he's like a rude teenager, and he's the mascot for the hockey team I like, and he's very fun. That's all.
Which hockey team is he? Is he a seal?
Yes, he is a seal. The Rimouski L'Océanics. It's I think it's like 16 to 20-year-olds hockey. The NHL does a lot of farming from the QMJHL.
Okay.
And it's the hockey team closest to my wife's hometown, so I support them out of a sense of hometown pride.
Unfortunately, my sport mascot lore begins and ends with Gritty, the weird Philadelphia Flyers.
Gritty
one
is love, Gritty is life, absolutely.
Yeah, that weird fucking abomination whom I must strike from this earth, as is my destiny.
Gritty is the leftist hero we didn't know we needed.
He must be slain. I see the evil in his eyes.
No, Gritty supports eating the rich.
So he says, but that's just a dodge. Look at him. Man,
He's virtue signaling.
He's virtue signaling. He's lying. I know it. I'll take him down myself. He is my albatross, my Moby Dick, and I will slay him.
Now you got Mike started. He's making his own headcanons for all of these.
Okay, so
yeah, it's D20 Live, baby.
This actually didn't even occur to me until last week. I'm like, oh crap, I bet there's something interesting about Chuck E. Cheese, and I just raced through it. I found some stuff.
Question: how do we know it's Chuck E. Cheese lore, not just FNAF lore?
I don't get that.
We'll take the Wiki's word for it. We have to have some level of confidence.
If I was a FNAF fan and being a complete asshole, I would completely rewrite the Chuck E. Cheese lore on the Wiki to be FNAF lore. But go ahead.
So basic info about Chuck E. Cheese. He performs on stage with a band of sorts, with some other characters. Helen Henry, who's a chicken. Jasper Jowls, who's a dog. Mr. Munch, who's some kind of monster. And Pasquale, I think is how you pronounce it. And he's just like a human chef. Like the rest of them are all animals and he's just a dude.
Well, someone has to make the fucking pizza.
Oh, I miss when they retired the band member Deathbed, the bed that eats. Deathbed played a really mean theremin.
Doubt. Freaking doubt.
So, Chuck E. Cheese has 4 iterations, and for some reason, the late 90s version is referred to as the Avenger era Chuck.
He hunted by night to save people from starvation and parents from their children's attention.
I've been going through this wiki, and they just keep referring to him as the Avenger version, and who exactly does Chuck E. Cheese want vengeance against, and for what? It never says. He doesn't have a superhero costume or anything. He just wears a sweater with a C on it and a bike helmet. I don't know.
Safety first.
Someone on that staff might have had enough foresight to know that the Avengers were going to make a hella fucking comeback.
He wants revenge on unsafe bicycling.
He is the last Avenger that the MCU can't buy. That Disney can't buy back. It ain't Sony where the last bastion is. It's the Chuck E. Cheese empire.
I don't really want bowling alley pizza that badly.
Oh.
Just imagining some Chuck E. Cheese executive absolutely refusing to budge on his amount of money that he wants for MCU to be able to have Chuck E. Cheese in their
Tell the
universe.
mouse he can suck my dick.
It's $500 million, no less. It's like, please, we'll do 10 million. That's not even close.
Listen, that mouse cock don't come cheap, man.
You tell them I want 500 million or I want Stan Lee's leg.
I have read erotic fan fiction about Chuck E. Cheese before.
Oh,
and
no.
I want a solid gold airport. And
I know you got the money. Crank it up, mouse.
And we have to turn Indiana into an ocean so my Captain Crunch cannon is real.
So there's a ton of minor characters in Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know if you can call it lore at this point, but it mentions Chuck's paternal grandparents named Chet R. Cheese and Daisy Cheese. He has a cat named Copernicus.
What do they talk about their cousin Richard Cheese, the one who sings in the lounge band?
I love that one of the parents grandparents has a cheese name, like it's cheddar, but Daisy's just out there. And I'm like, oh, okay, we just had to make sure that was gendered.
Because Cheese isn't her maiden name.
Oh, of course. Oh my God, I mean, one's a mouse and one's a normal person?
See, that's what people should be lobbying against, being able to marry rodents.
Anyway, so he has a cat named Copernicus. There's a page for this, and they actually have more lore about this little cat than they do for Chuck E. Cheese or any of his main people. It's like they got a whole backstory about Chuck finding the stray cat.
His main people. Yes, this is Chuck E. Cheese and his posse.
Dude, I'm sorry. Chuck E. Cheese, by the way this wiki is structured, has regenerations.
Oh, because he's the doctor.
Because he's got the PTT era, the Tux era, the Avengers Cool Chuck era, and the Rockstar era, and his appearance changes every time.
I can't wait for when David Tennant plays Chuck E. Cheese.
He used to have a cigar. No wonder they regenerated him.
What?
Chuck E. Cheese, PTT era, first version of the character was introduced in 1977, blah, blah, blah. There's a photo of Chuck E. Cheese holding a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that. I'm trying to contribute to this fact-finding process. I'm doing my best on your show. It's my first time. I'm trying to make a good impression. I'm going to stop talking for a minute.
That's great, honey. Nice cannonball.
Fuck you. Could tell you what I told my parents when they said that. Fuck you.
Roll for initiative, Mike.
So yeah, they've got this whole like backstory for this cat, like Chuck finding this stray cat on a clear night after a rainy day, and he named him Copernicus because the night he found him was so full of stars. And this is way more elaborate a backstory than I can figure out for any of the, like, who's the chef guy? What does he do? Like, how did he come into this? How did he make friends with a bunch of animals? They don't say.
Wait a minute, the night he found him was so full of stars. What, did the king of all cosmos get drunk again? Knock all of that fucking shit out?
Hell yeah, man.
Oh, and this whole backstory about Copernicus just comes from Chuck E. Cheese's official Instagram, which apparently they have, and they drop lore on it.
Official Instagram.
Oh, that's a sad person with a writing degree who's just filling in lore on that one. What do you do with your English degree?
Yeah, well, it's worse if you're Chuck E. Cheese's TikTok when you have a degree in film.
Ugh.
So, apparently, Mr. Munch is a big monster character. What?
I gotta beat out them thirst traps with my Chuck E. Cheese TikToks.
On this talk, we stand Chuck E. Cheese and Kool-Aid Man. No mention of Lucky the Leprechaun will be tolerated.
Mike?
Yeah?
Have you ever, like, GM'd a game where the players want to do everything except play the game?
Yeah, it's called every fucking game of D20 Live, man.
Okay, just wanted to draw that parallel.
Yep, anyway. That's fair. That's fair. Continue with Munch Jr.
We're engaging. We're talking about the mascots you're bringing up, Tom. I don't know what more you want from me. How many of them have sponsored this episode?
I have moments in my life where I want to say, just strike me down now, but then they're quickly followed by, actually, can you just strike down everyone but me? And
don't say that. God takes it literally. He sometimes does it. That's how Miss Ontario got lightninged a lot a couple of days ago.
So, Mr. Munch, the big weird monster, apparently has a son named Munch Jr.
Are we still in Chuck E. Cheese lore?
Yes.
Yes, we're still in Chuck E. Cheese lore.
Look at the size of the weird rabbit hole.
The size of the font heading. That's Chuck E. Cheese is definitely in 24, whereas like Copernicus and Mr. Munch are like 20.
The good stuff.
Oh, we made it good.
Yeah.
So they never explicitly say that he's Mr. Munch's kid, but I'm pretty sure that's the implication. He's called Munch Jr. Okay. But I find this little thing horrifying. Like, take a look at what this guy looks like. Yeah, he's like this little purple thing with a propeller beanie. He's got a single tooth, and he's got these squinty eyes like he's stoned out of his mind. And it looks like he pops in and out of a small garbage can or something.
It's a California raisin looking in the mirror while under drugs.
It feels to me like Mr. Munch had a child that he just keeps in the garbage. It's very disturbing to me.
Well, where the hell else are you going to find Chuck E. Cheese pizza, dude?
Nah. So in the mid-90s, most restaurants started to remove their Munch Jr. animatronics from the stage, either due to being vandalized by children or not working properly.
Vandalized by children? Okay, I want to know
that
how.
One. That one? Just that one. Not any of the other ones.
What kind of vandalization? Because children, normally what they do wouldn't count as vandalizing unless they're drawing swastikas or taking a leak on his head.
I don't know. I imagine some vandalism happens to all of them, but it seems like Munch Jr. somehow got it worse than the others.
I have to go through and give realistic Sharpie buttholes to all of the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics.
Maybe just because it's smaller, maybe kids run up and grab it, try to pull it out and destroy wires. I don't know.
What if they try to ride him like one of them animatronic ponies and shit like that?
Maybe they're trying to rescue him from his indentured servitude to Mr. Munch. I don't.
Mommy, I want to rescue that doggy, the purple one on stage.
The one whose dad is keeping him in the garbage. So his animatronic was removed and his spot on the stage was boarded up and carpeted over. His barrel was also removed. Sure, barrel. Let's call it a barrel.
Yeah.
A Munch Jr. animatronic still exists. It is owned by a private collector who shows it at Chuck E-Con. Apparently there's a convention.
No, there cannot be a Chuck E. Cheese convention. This cannot be real. This cannot be real. You keep talking, but I'm going to look it up and you're going to hear a haunted scream in about 5 seconds.
Okay. 3, 2.
In the meantime, Tom, I would like a receipt for next episode saying that you asked me to be on here.
So, in the Rockstar era, Munch Jr. became even smaller, now being represented by a puppet. He stays primarily with his hundreds of siblings.
What? What?
There is a a page on the wiki for the Munch siblings, and there's hundreds of them.
Okay, so Munch Jr.'s dad is a Game of Thrones character.
And apparently it's Walder Frey.
I'm not clear on whether it's Mr. Munch's siblings or Munch Jr.'s siblings. The Munch Jr. article implies that it's his, but it's very unclear.
I find it fun. I'm reading the Mr. Munch page right now, and it says for the current era, the current incarnation, the Rockstar era, upon landing in New York City, he became infatuated with pizza and ended up at Chuck E. Cheese and stayed there, which means while in New York and eating New York pizza, he thought Chuck E. Cheese was the best.
Okay, so apparently there is some lore to this that I missed.
Yeah, I'm engaging, man. You wanted me to stay on it. Just don't ask what comes out of the ghost.
One of the universal constants is that people are allowed to have wrong opinions.
I think it's interesting that his backstory for why he's like part of their band is they just lured him in with pizza and he never left.
That's good shit, man. Apparently.
What a bountiful country! I shall father hundreds of children here.
What if the pizza from Chuck E. Cheese is an aphrodisiac?
Oh boy.
It's not that haunting. Jesus Christ.
There's what's on this pizza? It's ground up unicorn horn.
It's pretty haunting. Like, thank you for giving me the mental image of Mr. Munch banging. Like, so.
All right, now I gotta see if Rule 34 has got any Mr. Munch.
There has to be. I don't want to look for it.
Well, okay, one of the things we used to end our sideshow on was having people guess how much Rule 34 there is for a specific character. So let me look up Mr. Munch.
I'm not saying there's a lot, but I'm saying it has to be out there somewhere.
There is none. And there are 2 results for Mr. Mucus.
Oh. Okay, so one character from Chuck E. Cheese is named Krusty the Cat. It was part of the original lineup, was replaced by Mr. Munch in 1978.
Here, Krusty the Cat has 1 image on Rule 34.
Well, I'm not that surprised. Okay, I just want to point out that Krusty the Cat...
Oh god, I wish I didn't see that.
Why did you click it?
You're mad at me for derailing things, huh? He's looking up Rule 34 porn. I'm here on the website reading closely. Krusty was nicknamed the Cat's Meow.
You're okay, Mike.
Thank you.
Okay.
He was in San Jose, California. I find that exciting. He's had 2 different animatronics. The one in the photo is his first generation, and his second generation had more movements and could turn the body. I bet you that
god, you are
animatronics...
such a fucking teacher's pet, Mike.
Fuck you, I want to come back for another episode. Now, I bet you the animatronicist who made that is depressed and will find our little podcast episode, and this may encourage him to jump off a cliff.
I haven't been able to look at the site past the image that looks like an in memoriam of him.
Wait, okay, can we not encourage people to kill themselves on this show?
I'm not encouraging, I'm concerned that we will induce.
Okay.
That's my fear. I worry for the animatronicist.
All right, I misunderstood the context in which you said that.
It was a concern for all men and women on this beautiful earth, that what we do here today shall haunt them.
Oh my god. When's the bell for recess gonna fucking ring?
Fuck off. My poor heart. So, okay, but Krusty, I just want to point out that he's a big, sketchy-looking cat wearing a jersey that says Swingers on it.
Uh-huh.
Is it the San Jose Swingers? Is it his team, or is he just advocating his lifestyle?
He meant to buy a shirt that said swings because he really likes swings.
I don't know, Stevo, does this tie into the Rule 34 image you found?
Most of the pictures of him, the S is kind of covered by, like, his arm or something.
Yeah.
And so, like, when I looked at, like, some of the art and, like, the concept art and stuff, and I saw Swingers on it, I'm like, is this someone's, like, fan art? Did someone, like, do this as a joke? But then I look at all the images and I realize, no, it straight up says Swingers.
I mean, I'm sure that the meeting to create him, like, oh, what would a baseball team be called? Let's make it sound really baseball-y. What do you do with the bat? You swing it. Oh, sure, the Swinger sounds reasonable. It's also 1978, and we've done a lot of cocaine.
Like one dude at the back is laughing his ass off. He's like, what are you laughing for, Jerry? Nothing. This is going to cash out real great on a podcast in about 50 years.
There's one character in Chuck E. Cheese lore just called Bird, and it's a bird. They have a whole wiki page dedicated to this. It's a green parrot with red wings who was Chucky's sidekick as shown in C Alpha or whatever crap.
It's a bird. Physical traits, it's a bird.
Yeah, basically.
He's doing his best to live the rock star life.
Originally, the bird had a more prominent role on stage, but later disappeared into the background where he is today. Now, the bird does not talk except for doing backup singing and occasional announcing, although he will move around and flap his wings to the music.
Does that mean we have this weird otaku idol culture going on within the Chuck E. Cheese lore that you can be moved from?
I went a different area. I went to, so characters are, added and removed based on their popularity. So is there a Chuck E. Cheese mafia, like dumping animatronic bodies in the local rivers?
Nah, man. This is the original idol culture of the West. Wait, what?
I'll get to that a little bit later on. It's not exactly what you're talking about, but there is something that is very similar to what you're describing.
I have not stopped saying what.
Okay.
Bird.
I also would like to point out there's a character just called Building, and it's a building with a mouth.
All right, I'm going to go to this link, and I hope I'm not haunted. Damn it, I'm haunted!
That building is
really
so fucking high.
Yes! That seems to be a thing. Like, tell me Krusty the Cat
that
isn't on meth.
That building wants to put on Let It Be on loop and have you listen with him.
I feel like I can hear his voice.
The game behind Chuck E. Cheese lore is trying to figure out which specific drug each character is on. Munch Jr.'s on pot. Krusty the Cat's on meth. The building, what, LSD?
Oh no, building looks definitely on a downer. Like a super
but it's got a big
mellow
grinning mouth.
Yo, his lips are freaking me out, guys. I feel like I need to run away from this
Building
page.
is a killer Pokemon design, though. Good job, Nintendo and Game Freak.
There's a character named Gary Ghost. There's not much more information than that.
Wait, there's a character named Pizza Cam?
What?
Yeah. It's like Cambot from MST3K. It's just a camera and it's called Pizza Cam.
The legal implications of a character at Chuck E. Cheese constantly filming children is making me uncomfortable.
Just so you know, I'm going to be clearing my browser history after this search because I don't need my algorithm to get this badly fucked up by what we're doing.
I swear, Judge, it wasn't me. It was Pizza Cam.
So, yeah, there's a character called Gary Ghost. So they have a ghost in their midst. No real information. I just think it's interesting. They have a ghost.
It's just there. He's there like the Phantom. We just got him. He doesn't want anything. He's just there.
Yeah.
I'm the least popular mascot.
No, he's like the Phantom. Sing for me, Chucky. It's a happy birthday. Sing for me.
Maybe it's the ghost of one of the kids who ate the pizza and got food poisoning.
Also that.
There's a character called Mr. Destructenheimer. And
Doctor
Destructenheimer.
He didn't go to Chuck E. Cheese's 7-year non-swindle college for a reason.
He didn't spend 7 years in evil medical school to be called Mr. Thank you.
Yep. And this is just Kermit the Frog with freaking What? It's Kermit the Frog with Christopher Lloyd's hair.
I think it's clear what happened to the Gen 2 Kermit the Frog voice actor then.
Also, I couldn't tell that this jacket was the end, so I thought that white thing behind him was a hump.
So...
Oh, what is your lore, sir?
The thing about this character that jumped out to me, it says, one day when Munch's make-believe band and Bella are celebrating birthdays, he tries to destroy them with a machine due to the fact that he never celebrated one.
Oh.
But then on the meeting, over 20 people join in and sing to him. His plans were then ruined. you could just make the decision, okay, maybe I can start celebrating birthdays. I'm not a child anymore. I can live my own life. But no, he's going to get revenge on people who have birthdays. And
how dare you?
I like how it doesn't say that they sing to him and this warms his heart and he changes his mind. It says his plans were then ruined.
My passing knowledge of supervillains implies that any amount of goodwill towards them while committing villainy actually does undermine their plans in a key way.
I'm sad that this article doesn't list all of the crimes that Dr. Destructenheimer was put on at the Haug.
Yeah. I am curious about exactly what he did before and after this one scheme.
Pizza Kim, play the evidence.
Apparently he's not the first antagonist though, because there's also Mike Wolf and Ducky Cheese, which is such a fucking step up from a dude named I'm Mike Wolf. I have a guitar. I'm Ducky Cheese. I also have a guitar.
Cheese?
Yeah. And then there's I'm Dr. Destructenheimer. I'm gonna fucking go to town. I need to find the YouTube link where this dude shows up.
I want to know what this machine is that he tried to kill him with.
Dr. Destructenheimer engineered the events of Children of Men.
Oh, no. They actually have a character named... Justin Bieber. Oh.
Well, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Boo.
We don't need to delve into that one. I just wanted to point it out.
No.
That is a fact. There's a character named Dolly Dimples. Now, this is for kids.
All right, going back to the Rule 34.
Yeah, this is for kids.
Oh, no.
Dolly Dimples is a blues/jazz piano-playing hippo that would often sweet talk and dedicate songs to the guests sitting near the other side of her piano. She would also reminisce of her former husbands, often tying them into monologues of song titles. She also has been known to use innuendo and make suggestive comments.
You know, for the kids.
Yeah, she has two known show tapes, being 1978-82, her I'm Back show tape. She reappeared 35 years later in the Halloween at the Pizza Time Theater short. So
I have so many questions.
Yeah, my question is why they decided to bring her back 35 years later. They let's bring back the grossly inappropriate.
My question is, do people collect these pieces of media about Chuck E. Cheese?
Someone must.
Hold up. I just spotted something real fucked up at the bottom of her page. You'll notice that there is a photo at the bottom. It looks like a coloring photo, but it's not. Like bottom right? It shows these guys making robots of themselves.
Technology.
Wow.
Yeah. But hear me the fuck out. Does that mean the robots are making their own and they run the company?
Robots.
Ooh.
Chuck E. Cheese and Co. reproduce asexually.
Clearly. Look at the... Oh. Man, we're in some Borg level shit now.
Yeah, we're getting somewhere with this lore now. Now, there's one character called BB Bubbles, and I just wanted to mention this person for one specific reason. Now, BB Bubbles is an elephant with springs for hair who held a microphone in her trunk. BB Bubbles played circus music and kids music on a calliope. The character used the same animatronic as Dolly Dimples and Artie Antlers, with Dolly Dimples' chest movement being used for BB Bubbles' trunk. So that means they gave Dolly Dimples an animatronic chest.
For the kids.
Whenever they do a biography on Team Ninja and the Dead or Alive series, the inspiration for Jiggle Physics will no doubt be Dolly Dimples' chest animatronics.
God bless him. It's got to come from somewhere.
Terrifying. This is still a terrifying looking animatronic, though.
Yes.
I love how her status is retired, but don't worry, kids. She's still alive.
Do they have a status retired slain?
I don't know. We got to start going through wiki pages, don't we?
Now, there is one Chuck E. Cheese movie that was made called Chuck E. Cheese in the Galaxy 5000. It's a direct-to-video special.
You mean like the fucking car?
No, it's...
Okay, because the Galaxy 5000 is a model of car.
So this movie was released in 1999, the same year as The Matrix, in Chuck E. Cheese restaurants and Toys R Us stores. It features a boy named Charlie Rocket. Charlie Rocket's aunt and uncle are in danger of losing their farm because they need $50,000 to replace their tractor.
Christopher Savant's in it?
To raise the money, Chuck E. Cheese and his friends decide to race in the Galaxy 5000 on the planet Orion.
5,000, okay.
Which they travel to via Pasquale's awesome adventure machine.
Of course.
So the chef
the only way
guy
to fly.
happens to have like an interdimensional spacecraft or intergalactic, I should say, spacecraft or teleport or something. And
They're making their own animatronics, dude.
Sponsored by Capsule Corp.
Yeah.
I mean, you said Chris Sabat's in it, so
He is in it. It's there, and I'm
next time
how
on
to
Chuck E. Cheese.
Wrong character. That's Vegeta, but yeah.
I love how it just jumps to Charlie Rocket's parents need a new tractor, and so logically we go to another planet and race in a like. I feel like there are a few steps in between 1 and 2 that I'm missing here.
Yeah, the first draft had them going and asking the government for some of the farmer bailout money. It didn't screen well with kids.
So,
And then they had to try and do it in a tractor race. That didn't screen well. And they said, you know what? Kids like space.
while there, Helen faces a challenge of her own when her strong romantic feelings for Chuck are challenged by Astrid, a woman who attempts to seduce Chuck, but is secretly only after the covered prize money.
Go on.
I look forward to the extended universe version where instead of Spock Messiah, it's Chuck E. Cheese Messiah.
Some baddie ass shit in Oregon.
Astrid is just a regular human woman that apparently has strong romantic feelings. Well, I guess she doesn't really. She's only after the prize money, but this weird love triangle they introduced to a kid's movie about an animatronic mouse who races to save a farm on another planet.
Hey, if Chuck E. Cheese can get a threesome, it means there's hope for all of us.
Jeez.
It's a lot of work.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. We're getting weird reveals in our lives in this fucking podcast.
It's weird. No, what's weird is I literally talked about this on the last episode of my own podcast, too. It just randomly got brought up.
So,
anyway, continue.
Yeah, they face many challenges, including a racing vehicle that's practically junk, cheating competitors, and a woman named Astrid that blah, blah, blah. They already established this. Everything seems to go from bad to worse for Chuck. But just when he's at his lowest point, he meets a hermit named Harry who gets him to believe in himself and helps him train for the race. This was 99.
Cool.
Yep.
I don't know. You kind of lost me when you said that they were doing the Sonic 06 kissing thing.
You know, it's the kind of thing where you can see that a lot of people threw a lot of ideas at the wall and they saw what stuck. We just didn't know it was done with shit.
I'm honestly more excited about the next heading you have.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to mention when you were talking about all these animatronics being like dumped and destroyed. There is a corporate policy about destroying Chuck E. Cheese's head.
That makes sense.
There's a whole article here. Whenever they need to get rid of the animatronics, they're required to destroy Chuck E. Cheese's head. Meredith Rose, an intellectual property attorney and policy advocate, has surmised the policy's purpose. She says, if you own this intellectual property writ large, you don't want a secondary market to pop up. You don't want people selling animatronic Chuckies on eBay. So if someone were to set up, say, an entire backyard like sideshow thing where they replicate the animatronic band and all the swag, it might conceivably be viewed as not exerting control over your trademark.
That honestly isn't the most puzzling thing to me, because there's a huge thing with corporations about okay, cool.
Because CEC's reasoning is similar to Rose's observation, reveals how difficult it is to maintain the fantasy of Chuck E. Cheese's for kids. Brian Dalk, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, the company's real estate manager, said that employees are indeed required to destroy Chucky's head when it's no longer needed, which often happens when a location closes or the costume is updated.
Oh, that reminds me of the glory days when I worked at GameStop and got to destroy the Nokia N-Gage display when we couldn't have it anymore.
God, destroying an Xbox 360 display was a fucking day.
That was fun. We brought a baseball bat and did it after hours.
Oh, you lucky shits. I had to use tools because it was getting sent back to Microsoft.
So
lucky bastard.
The idea is twofold, so that no one can find a Chuck E. Cheese costume in a dumpster, and also so that children never see the disembodied head of Chucky. Our policy is for when the store is operated is to never bring that head out by itself when the store is operated, because that can be very traumatic for a child.
If you're at Chuck E. Cheese, it's already pretty traumatic.
Chucky's head is only allowed out between the hours of 12 a.m. and 5 a.m.
So it's usually done out of sight, but there was a video that captured two former employees of the recently shuttered Oak Lawn location bashing Chuck's brains in with a sledgehammer out back.
Yeah. Not even surprised.
So this is how this all came to life. This viral video came out of people like demolishing Chuck E. Cheese's face. Apparently, the statement here is those employees went rogue and took that outside. They should not have been doing that. Yeah, he's quick to add that most Chuck E. Cheese's locations don't keep sledgehammers around, and they appeared in Oak Lawn to break down old furniture. Usually he says Chucky's head isn't bashed in.
Usually.
They took him out back and bashed his face in his sledgehammers.
You gotta imagine though that somewhere in headquarters there was a dude in sunglasses going, "We've got a couple of employees that have gone rogue and they killed Chucky."
So, employees have innumerable other examples of struggling to maintain the mascot's innocent, kid-friendly image. One former Chuck E. Cheese's general manager recalls a group of kids storming the stage where the animatronic band played. They got up on stage, and before I could get up there and tell him to get off, they'd taken all the clothes off Chucky's outfit, off the robotic body, and kids were screaming because it was just a cyborg with a Chucky head.
Yeah. Android, but yeah.
So that might answer your question about what sort of vandalism happens to Munch Jr. It's like a war zone in there, apparently.
Dude, you had a bunch of feral kids full of sugar and hopped up on quarters? I'm amazed most Chuck E. Cheeses still have walls standing.
That explains why every other friggin' imitator has also gone the way of the dodo.
Yeah, it's not...
Rest in peace, Discovery Zone.
Oh, fuck. I'm amazed. Yeah. Because really, it wouldn't be anything else but just the wear and tear of children and whether you can keep that up, right?
Yeah.
And I know I have a child. I know Tom has a child.
Mm-hmm.
Children are very destructive, even if they don't need to be.
Yeah.
That's just who they are.
What do you mean I'm not supposed to just throw my food off my tray and onto the cat? Like... Let me talk about the characters that really jumped out to me as amazing in all of Chuck E. Cheese lore. There's Nessie. Okay. Nessie is literally just the Loch Ness Monster.
Hold up. She's a girlfriend of somebody.
Yep, she's the girlfriend of Nigel the Sasquatch.
Canon pairing. Good ship.
So I had to look this up. Who is Nigel the Sasquatch? Nigel is a Sasquatch who lives with Ronnie the Unicorn and his boyfriend to Nessie. Additionally, he's good friends with Rockstar Pasquale. I just want to reiterate that in the Chuck E. Cheese world, there is a Sasquatch named Nigel who is the canonical boyfriend of the Loch Ness Monster.
Well, similar people in similar work environments. What do you want from them?
So, it says he lives with Ronnie the Unicorn, so I looked up Ronnie the Unicorn. Ronaldo Sagittarian, known most commonly as Ronnie, is an interdimensional unicorn who often can be found near various Chuck E. Cheese locations, as well as Chucky himself. He is somewhat of a reporter, and he has interviewed Chef Gregory on occasion, the famous Chef Gregory. Ronnie currently lives in an apartment with Nigel the Sasquatch. So just to put this all together, in Chuck E. Cheese canon, There's a Sasquatch named Nigel who is roommates with an interdimensional unicorn and whose girlfriend is the actual Loch Ness Monster.
Clearly a ripoff of the show Friends.
Hold up. I'm going down this rabbit hole now because I'm lost. First of all, I saw there was an ordinary dude among the canon characters. I'm like, I need to know this man's deal. That's Chef Gregory, the current chef of Chuck E. Cheese and the one responsible for the menu changes. Then there's a Super Chucky, which is an alternate identity, as if someone wouldn't be able to recognize a fucking giant-ass mouse.
It's the exact same costume, but with like not even a domino mask. It's just like a Ninja Turtle mask over his face.
Yeah.
He's still wearing the sweater that says C on it.
Bastards. This is the kind of low effort thing that kills the superhero market.
I know. His name is like Super Chucky. Like it's his same name. Like who what superhero's secret identity is the same name as their actual name?
I'm trying to think.
Have no fear, citizen. It is I, Super Clark Kent.
You know what? I think I'm just gonna name my next friggin' Pokemon Ronaldo in honor of the interdimensional unicorn.
Thank you. All right. So tell me.
Are we at my point?
Yes. Tell me about Toomgis.
All right. You want to know about Toomgis? So Toomgis was introduced to be by my co-host, arch enemy, and eldritch guardian to my child because we don't have godparents. Logan. Toomgis is a 7'6" tall food-based monstrosity that is the mascot for AMPM or Ampum, a convenience store chain in the vein of Wawa and Royal Farms. I have no idea if you guys know what those are.
No.
But no, okay. We're Canadian. We don't have these.
They sell stuff like breakfast and lunch sandwiches.
I concur with Mike's scream. Toomgis is a horrifying monstrosity.
What the fuck is that?
He appears to have a cheeseburger for a nose, cookies for cheeks.
Wait, hold on. They sell stuff like breakfast and lunch sandwiches, novelty frozen drinks, cookies, snack foods, coffee, basically a glorified 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
again,
it looks
I don't know
like
if you have those in Canada.
Yeah, we have 7-Elevens.
Okay.
We do, yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So Toomgis is made entirely of products that you can buy from AMPM, and Toomgis is a shortening of the phrase too much good stuff, which is their trademark catchphrase. According to AMPM's own website, which has a main navigation tab dedicated to Toomgis with a registered trademark symbol, some say Toomgis fell to Earth from snack heaven, but that's just hearsay.
What?
What we do know is Toomgis, registered trademark, is too much good stuff. Again, registered trademark. He's a friendly, gentle giant made of hundreds of different foods and drinks and 35 kinds of generosity and kindness. With 3 registered trademark symbols in a single short paragraph, you know he's probably the brainchild of some social media manager who's one of AMPM's board of directors' nephew or something. I shall now read to you their listed facts about him once you all are done telling me how shocked you are.
There's a phone number you can call.
I'm mostly just shocked at his appearance. Like,
okay,
everything you're telling me is like a soft murmur in the screams going on inside my head.
It's a tinnitus attack brought on by fear and arousal. I totally understand.
You can send him internet snack-spiracy theories.
So there are.
I need to put this phone number on the QAnon webpage. I need to put this phone number on the QAnon webpage.
Toomgis graduated valedictorian of his class. Toomgis cannot always text back. He's busy snacking, but he loves long calls and longer voicemails. You can call him at, and this is the number, 657-200-8647 to say hi or chat internet snack-spiracy theories. So Mike's QAnon suggestion is not wrong.
So I'm guessing it's just a recorded message when you call and you can like.
I don't know. I have not called. I have never tried. Toomgis used to be a motivational speaker, but he pivoted to motivational snacking. Toomgis starts off every dating app convo with the line, looking for some snack from some snaction. Ugh. Very There are details at the wiki page called anawesomeandrandom.fandom.com. Toomgis is a male from heaven whose body is made of heaven and his smell is godly. He believes in Santa Claus and loves Slim Jim. As a toddler, he was reported to be 6 feet tall and wear red and green pajamas. During the holidays, he drinks 15 cups of Hershey's hot chocolate a day.
This is fantastic.
Toomgis always speaks in the third person and constantly talks about his body and always supports treating yourself. In high school, he was voted most likely to be eaten.
I'm amazed.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I want to touch on how you said he always supports treating yourself. Like, I feel like you remember in the guy who was Ronald McDonald in the 70s eventually quit because he just couldn't feel right about encouraging so many kids to eat fatty foods. And Toomgis here is like, hold my beer. I'm gonna get the whole. I'm gonna give a diabetes to every child.
I like this fact.
Boy.
Toomgis is imposing if you have never before met the man, but his good-natured attitude and gruff, friendly voice will quickly show you that you aren't in any danger.
They might as well just put in all caps, there is nothing to fear from Toomgis. What?
Toomgis's first word was corn dog. And his first step was a lunging toward one.
Toomgis means you no harm. No harm will befall you by Toomgis.
Why did you say this to me?
Now, but before we continue, I am going to send you all a link to a YouTube video of Toomgis so you can actually hear his voice.
Oh no. Hey. Intermission. Wow.
What the fuck did I just watch?
I'm
What the
calling
fuck?
tomatoes shiny ketchup balls from now on.
Bullshit. Bullshit you are. I call you a liar,
And
sir.
I will always refer to dipping vegetables in any kind of dip as rabbit snacks. That is fucking true.
I call you a liar, sir.
There is one thing about this commercial that disturbs me far more than anything else, and that's how chill this other guy is talking to Toomgis. Like, this does not bother him.
He knows that he can slay the beast by eating it.
He knows that he is not in any danger.
That's like more horrifying than anything. It's like Toomgis has like an aura that calms his prey so that they do not suspect him as an enemy before he consumes them. Like,
Toomgis is gonna be the worship of some cult out in the Northwest.
Like seconds after this commercial ended, that guy was nothing. There's nothing left of that guy but shoes. Like.
Well, the most disturbing fact about Toomgis is he loves snacks and is made of snacks, therefore he can eat himself.
Like Pizza the Hut. I'm just like imagining like he just regenerates and he just keeps eating himself and more stuff just grows where the stuff he ate came from. And always comes back different. He's like...
No, it's just like an AM PM. He eats himself and a truck shows up with another Toomgis.
He's the embodiment of food chaos. Like he's like Dracula's castle every time it comes back slightly different. Like this guy is horrible.
That's all I had about Toomgis.
This is basically the best thing that's ever happened to me. So thank you.
I'm glad.
Horrible.
Now stare deeply into Toomgis's eyes and say that you love him.
No, I closed all the tabs and I'm clearing my internet history. I'm burning this shit.
Feel the soft caress of his Cinnabon hot dog hand.
I shall not. 2 hours will be purged.
Wait,
done.
so every part of him is made of food. His hair is licorice. His mouth is a hot dog. What are his teeth?
Souls.
I see teeth. I'm not just asking this
Chiclets,
hypothetically.
obviously.
Yeah, probably chiclets. Yeah,
they're not chiclets. They're like roundish. Like, what are these?
Oh, Mentos.
They could be Mentos.
I'm not clicking back on it because I need to forget. But I'm willing to offer suggestions.
I mean, none of us are sleeping at this point, so I'm just staring into the abyss. I
am not. I'm doing a purge down, and
There is erotic fan fiction of Toomgis.
Oh god.
Nope. Nope.
I don't know why that surprises me. Like all the other Rule 34s, I'm like, yeah, there's definitely Rule 34. And then you say Toomgis, I'm like, no.
Well, no, the surprising thing to you was I wrote it.
Stevo.
I'm sorry, what?
Stevo.
Yes.
Sir.
Are you sure
Sir.
that you want to confess this to the world? You want everyone to know that this is the sin that you have committed?
Is
But
it
yeah.
any good? No, don't
People
ask
who-
that question, Michael.
People who listen to FNF knew this 4 seasons ago when we read it, and it has Gritty in it too. Gritty gets turned on by sexual consent.
Is that? I think we heard Tom, ladies and gentlemen, give up and hurl his microphone to the floor.
Wiki Sift lasted all of 6 episodes. Good job, Mike.
You're welcome. I'm glad I was the harbinger siren.
Why are
song
you
of
blaming Mike?
demise.
This is on you, Stevo.
No. Twas I, the knight who came in and slew this dragon. Stop
That's all
blaming Mike for everything.
Am I gonna get an angry text from your wife, Mike, saying, "Why did you send him Toomgis?"
Yeah, Mike. She's kind of pissed. She's not talking to me right now.
I might turn on my audio recorder on my phone and just see if I can hear my wife react when I send this to her. Maybe I could add this to the podcast later in post.
I just got a question. Did you guys pick up my wife screaming?
Yes,
Yes.
very clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Very clearly. This
It's the funniest joke of the show.
good.
I'm
The
glad.
first time I heard her screaming, I thought, oh no, this has become a domestic situation. And then I started to make out what she was actually saying. Steven, what have you done?
It's still less disturbing than half the Chuck E. Cheese mascots.
I don't
Yeah.
think it is.
Tom,
Yes?
if I could go back in time and tell myself
Mm-hmm.
not to show you that fucking Lucky Charms article that prompted this, that led to the direction of me learning about Toomgis, I would skip over.
Toomgis, he's not a
I
Toomgis.
don't give a fuck. I would rocket past all of it, every bad fucking thing that happened to me, to do that. Then get the other things, but that would be my priority.
It's really nice that Google News is recommending an article that just says, "There are no words for the horror, the story of my madness," and we are talking about Toomgis.
Yeah.
You know, if you never looked up the Lucky Charms thing, Toomgis would still exist.
You never would have looked.
Like we didn't cause Toomgis. We just had it revealed to us.
But it didn't have to be.
Oh, I'm sure
Blame
inevitably
This
it would have been
isn't
brought
like
up.
we didn't pull the top off of the Ark of the Covenant. Like this was out there.
And who knows what else we'll find in the next episode of Wiki Sift. Tune in for the dramatic
That's it
conclusion.
for today. Thank you to everyone for listening. Please review us on whatever you're listening to us on. It doesn't have to be a good review. Any review is fine. If you're not sure what to say, just say these people are a bunch of sad loser nerd monkeys. Except this time you can say who have scarred me.
I wholeheartedly hope that Toomgis listens and leaves a review for Wiki Sift.
This
is a bit late to say, but anyone who's listening who has not looked it up, don't look it up.
Just you know,
don't look it up.
I'm gonna call that number and tell Toomgis to leave you a message.
Don't send me more Toomgis things.
I'm gonna call that number and I'm gonna ask whoever is on the other line, how dare you?
How do you sleep at night with many snacks?
Like, who hurt you?
I was physically assaulted by a burger and some snack cakes when I was 5. Toomgis is my manifestation.
I saw Chuck E. Cheese's head smashed in as a child, and now I must punish everyone.
Oh my god. What the living shit.
Until next time.
Bye, everybody.